What's up? Welcome into your Daily Buckeye Blitz for a Monday. Let's kick this week off, right? Let's kick it right in the nards, right? October 16th, 2023. Hope you all enjoyed last night's show with me and Jeff and Sean. If not, you can always go back and check that out here on the channel. If you're subscribed, you'll get notified whenever we have a new show. And hey, hit the like button if you would. It's the thumbs up right below the video. Really appreciate it. And it helps other Buckeye fans find the show. And it's free. Subscribing's free. Hitting the like button's free. In a world where you get charged for literally everything on a YouTube network that likes to really put the screws to its content creators, no offense, but yeah, kind of offense meant there. This is free. Subscribing, liking the video. So I appreciate you. Don't forget the buckeyecast.com. Everything is on sale there. Get your stuff together. Get some long sleeve tees, the Built Ohio Tough shirts. I have a long sleeve tee out there. Also got a hat with that logo on it. So check it out. All right, let's talk offense here. If you listen to my instant reaction Saturday evening / Sunday morning, you probably got the gist of how I felt about the offense. Today we're focusing on the offense only. We're going to run through PFF grades and stats and all that shit. I think the offense really functioned well right out of the gates, other than the first pass to Fleming. But I think we just have come to learn that Kyle's going to throw an incompletion in the first play of the game and get that out of the way. So we might as well just start 2nd and 10, right out of the gates, save us all some time. But anyway, Kyle executed the offense very well. It was clear the O-line was moving dudes, especially in the running game. But Kyle, took some hits. They blitzed a lot. Let's get right into it. Let's look at his numbers first. 16 of 28 for 276, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Did have a fumble late in the game. Remember that. So Kyle's putting together a decent year. I think you're going to be a little surprised when all is said and done after 12 games, the kind of numbers he puts up, offensively and not turning it over, whether it's fumbles or interceptions, he's still really doing well for a first-year starter, in my opinion. So let's look at Kyle here. Again, we were in the first half, I think we were 6 of 7, 7 of 8, I think, on third down. So really, really moving the ball well. Did get hit with a couple sacks. Not really his fault. They blitzed a ton. Let's look at Kyle's pressure chart here. So he was blitzed 77.4% of his dropbacks, 77%. So on 23 attempts, he was blitzed and had 11 completions. That's just under 50%. 2 touchdowns, though, when he was blitzed. I know I noticed, just as you guys probably did too, a lot of throws off his back foot. Well, yeah, because he had a guy in his face. It's not because he has bad mechanics. No, he had a guy in his face. If you go back and watch the game, I'm just in the middle of rewatching it right now for the 5th time. There's a dude in his face. That's why quarterbacks typically throw off their back foot. Especially when they're blitzing 77% of the time. So 11 completions, as I mentioned, 7.7 yards per attempt when blitzed. That's good. But then when he is kept clean, he had a completion percentage of 62% for 219 yards and 2 touchdowns. Under pressure, that means just coming from a front 4. He just had 3 completions on 9 attempts for 57 yards and a touchdown. So still getting it in the end zone, even when he's under pressure or blitzed. That's what I like to see. It shows that he has that toughness to stand in there, make a play, and deliver it, right? I've got his, let me share his passing depth chart here so you can see it. So I'm not completely full of shit. So right here, as usual, this is not out of the ordinary for most quarterbacks, especially first-year starters. Right down the middle is where you're always going to have your highest completion percentages, especially in this offense. So starting from behind the line of scrimmage, you're 3 of 3 for 43 yards, right in the middle of the field. Then from 0 to 10 yards, 6 of 6 for 75 and 2 touchdowns. Then out to the right, starting to see more balls go out to the right side of the field now. 2 of 5, 17 yards, and then 1 of 2 from 10 to 20 yards. For 1 of 2 for 14 and a touchdown. 0 for 2 deep right. Did get one down the middle. 1 for 3 for 55. That was the big one to Brandon Ennis. Wait, no, that was from. This would have been for Tate. This had to be Carnell Tate's catch. Yeah, because Ennis's catch came from Devin. And then outside left, 1 deep ball for 34 yards. And some shallow, nothing up by the line of scrimmage to the left side. He had 1 for 4 to the left for 15. So as usual, right down the middle is where you're getting most of your work done. So looks good. He did suffer from some drops. I mean, that first one to Fleming right out of the gates that I mentioned, right in his chest. Drop. And I don't want to hear the shit about rain either, man. Those are excuses. Marv needs to be living with the Monarch machine all week long. I don't know. It's a very un-Marv kind of game. And for all the guys, really, Fleming doesn't typically drop the ball. So Marv, I saw him credited with 3. I think he could have almost given him 4. He made a half-hearted effort on a scramble throw from Kyle where he just went up and it was in the middle of a bunch of dudes. I think he just made a business decision there. One-handed it and didn't even really put much effort into it. And X-Man had a drop. So, yeah, about 5 drops all the way around on the day. So not really Kyle's fault, obviously, but what are you going to do? It's part of the game. Play action. Just want to mention they didn't run a single screen pass, which I think Dallan Hayden's pretty good at catching little swing screens, you know. But anyway, play action. They ran 13 play action plays out of 31 total dropbacks. And they completed 8. So that's 62%, 100 yards and a touchdown. With no play action, they were 8 of 17. So actually completion percentage goes down, but he does get 2 touchdowns on the no play action. So, and we talked about the depth and all that. So let's look at, let's talk receiving since we're just talking about Kyle here. Who'd we have? Targeted, Marvin Harrison, 13 targets, 6 receptions. It's not a great percentage, reception percentage, 46%. Again, he's credited with 3 drops. That's way too many. But he did go 6 catches, 105, and 17.5 per reception, 1 touchdown. What else did he have? He lined up in the slot. Marv did 10 times. Out wide 19 times. Had some nice yak yards here. He had 53 yards yak. That's an 8.8 per reception yak yardage. That's good. Had a long of 34. And then you got Cade Stover. He had 4 targets, 4 catches for 53 yards, 2 touchdowns. Fleming, 4 targets, 1 catch, credited with a drop, and just 9 yards on the day. Seems like he should have had more than that. Carnell Tate, 3 targets, 3 catches. Kid blowing up, man. 79 yards. That's a nice little 26.3 average. Love seeing Carnell Tate getting out there and making shit happen. Had 2 forced missed tackles. 2 by a receiver, yes. We're lucky if we get 2 of those from a running back in one game, but 38 yards a yak. Good job by Tate all the way around. X-Man 1 for 3 for 21 yards. G. Scott, 1 target, no catch. Ennis, the big 1 for 1. First catch of his career, goes 58 yards for a score. Love that shit. Chipper had 1 for 9. 1 target, 1 catch for 9. So good day by the young guys, mediocre day by the older guys. But this is still the year of the tight end, and Cade is proving that, going 4 for 4 and 2 touchdowns, carrying the water. All right, so let's talk running backs here. Obviously, Dallan led the way after Chip went out early in the game. Dallan went 12 attempts, 73 yards, a nice little 6.1 yard average, the touchdown. Chipper had 6 attempts, 28 yards. He was looking good early, nice and strong. 28 yards, that's a 4.7 yard average. X-Man chipped in 4 carries for 33 yards, 8.3 yards per carry. And Kyle had 3 carries for 9 yards. So one was he pulled it down and scampered for a few. So that's good to see, showing teams that he will move the ball a little bit. Let's see what we have here. Dallan had the long run of the day, a 19-yarder. Yards after contact, Xavier Johnson, 5.75. Hayden, 3.67. That's good. Forced missed tackles, again, we don't do that a lot as a running back group. It just doesn't happen. X-Man and Dallan had 2 forced missed tackles each. Wouldn't it be nice to get those numbers up? And Devin Brown had a forced missed tackle on one of those keepers. So strong work by the running backs. Again, I'm going to go back and say, Aiden Xavier had 3 targets out of the backfield, 1 catch for 21. I'm going to go back and say it again. I said it yesterday. Dallan Hayden has to burn that red shirt. He is the best running back in this room right now. I don't know how you can see it any other way. He had two runs of over 15 yards. Xavier had 1. Like I mentioned the other day, Hayden has that patience, and he runs with patience behind the line, waits for the crease, waits. Trey a lot of times is not patient. He just goes, and no matter what's there. And Hayden rarely gets caught for a loss, rarely if ever. And typically it's a 3, 4, 5, 6 yard gain, maybe more occasionally, but he hits the hole where it's blocked up. Now flip side is, you have the home run ability of Travion. You never know when that's coming, but he hasn't, Hayden ran for 6 first downs this week. 6. That's legit. Xavier Johnson, 2. Devin Brown, 2. McCord, 1. Chipper, 1. So I don't know. I know Trey's a great player. He might be even more talented, you could say, because he's obviously faster than Dallan Hayden, but Hayden is consistently moving the chains, moving the ball. I don't know if it's tough, Is there a way to get them both on the field? That's being a little greedy, but I don't know. The Buckeyes never really run any 2 running back sets, like 12 personnel or something funky. So I don't see that happening all of a sudden, but I think you got to give Dallan some snaps. Maybe if you go 50-50 with him and then chip a couple off to Chip, I don't know. But let's look at the run blocking. Obviously, this was much better this week. Looking at the team's run blocking, this was the second best game of the year. Western Kentucky was the best run blocking game as a team, as a whole. That counts receivers, tight ends, everybody, O-line. But looking at focusing on the offensive line in the run blocking areas, they all graded out above 70. Fryer, 78.7. Hinsman, 76.5. Matthew Jones, 71.5. Josh Simmons, 70.8. I missed it. Donovan Jackson, still below 70. My bad. 67.6. don't know what's going on with Donovan Jackson. He's got an issue, but anyway, it's got to do better out of 34 run plays. And so that's good. We're seeing major improvement from the entire O-line in the run game. And we're getting some mediocre blocking from the perimeter. Let's look at pass blocking here. Dallan Hayden, really strong in pass pro. That was one of his weak points before. He had 10 pass blocking snaps and graded out, we have here, an 81.6. That's really high for a running back. Most running backs are not that strong. But then you got Matthew Jones, 81.2. Donovan Jackson, 81.2. So again, Donovan Jackson, the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. Shitty against the run, or shitty in run blocking, good in pass blocking. It's really frustrating. Then Josh Simmons, 78.6. Chip Trinum did well in pass blocking, 78.1. Hensman down here is 74.8, still doing pretty well. I'll take 70s and 80s all day long. Fryer, doing well, 72.5. We had nobody from the O-line in the 60s, not any of the starters anyways, so that's good. Josh Simmons did give you his obligatory 1 penalty, which nobody is surprised by. So things are getting better. It's just, can they maintain this consistency? That was a good D line they went against, especially against the pass. You had that younger Karloftis kid, and then their other edge rushers were really strong. So you saw them get in there and get to Kyle a couple times. So and then the blitzes definitely helped them. So all in all, much improved. We did kind of peter out in the second half, but started the game strong, got up big, 20-0 at the half. So the offense is moving the ball, and we're going to need it this week. Hopefully this is not some fool's gold, but we got the job done and in a convincing fashion. So we'll see if the Devin package remains next week, or if they whip it out around the goal line. Can't afford turnovers, though. One thing. We've seen turnovers against Penn State before. So all in all, good offensive victory, plenty to work on, and let's get better this week. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.